Hi guys, and welcome to a new news episode. The first thing we're going to look at today is this message from Niantic support. Wayspot location edits are now available in both Ingress and Pokemon Go. While the feature was offline, we added safeguards against an issue that allows for wayspots to be incorrectly clustered in a single area. We can learn more here. But I want to note first that on June 19th, it became they turned off the possibility to make location edits. So this has been going on from June 19th till today. And now it's finally back. Wayspot edits are now limited to 10 meters from the accepted location. If a wayspot needs to be moved beyond this, please report the wayspot to us directly so that we can evaluate the wayspot and update it to more accurately reflect the real-world location. Issues with a wayspot location can be reported in-app. Okay, so you can go to the Pokestop or gym, tap on the arrow icon, then on the three dots menu, and you can select report an invalid Pokestop. So if you want to move it yourself, because it is within the 10 meters, then you will go to the three dots menu as well, but there should be an option that states move Pokestop, something like that. And if you decide to move the Pokestop, then you will make a request to move it, and it will go into the wayfarer system, and other wayfarer users are going to look at it, and if it gets accepted, then you will get an email that it's accepted. But this usually takes a very long time. However, there's also the possibility now to say report an invalid Pokestop, and then Niantic will look at it directly. So only Niantic will look at it, and they will decide to move it for you or not move it for you. So I think that because they went for 10 meters, which is a very small difference, that there are going to be a lot of Pokestops or portals that are further than 10 meters away from the correct location. And if people want to move all of these Pokestops, they need to do it through Niantic, which means that Niantic is going to be flooded by a request for putting a Pokestop in the correct location, right? So it's going to be interesting to see if Niantic can handle this flood of requests. I think it would have been a little bit better for them if they went for 20 or 30 meters, because then a lot more Pokestops could actually be requested through the Wayfarer system, which means that Niantic has less Pokestops to do themselves directly. But they went for 10 meters. Additionally, as some wayfinders had abused this to their benefit by moving wayspots away from their actual location, at the detriment of the community at large, these users will be receiving the appropriate punishments within the Wayfarer system. Okay, so there were some people who were living in an area and everything was perfect, all the Pokestops were in the right location, and they decided, you know what, I prefer if all those Pokestops are at my house. Maybe they make a lot of accounts so they can review in Wayfarer, and they get all of those Pokestops at their house. So they move them from the correct location away to their house, and this is obviously abusive, and it seems that Niantic has decided to do something about this, not only by the rule of the 10 meter Pokestops, but also by punishing these people who have made misuse of the feature in the past. So it will be interesting to see what kind of punishments they are going to give. We'll have to wait and see. So overall, I think this is good from Niantic, that they are doing something against this abuse. But I think the 10 meter rule might be just a little bit too small. I think 20 or 30 meters might have been better, because I don't think they can handle the flood of the Pokestops requests coming to them directly. Here are some Reddit posts as well about the 10 meter rule. Everybody not certain if 10 meter was the right amount. Next is Pokeminers. Aquatail has been added to Gyarados. So, of course, we know that Aquatail has been in the game since Community Day. However, now the option to use an Elite Charge TM to give Gyarados Aquatail has been added now. So if you had a 100% Gyarados before the Community Day, then now the time has arrived that you can give it Aquatail by the use of an Elite Charge TM. We have a couple of things to talk about when it comes to PvP. So 2 days ago we talked about an article from rank 10 players who got asked what was the most important thing for them to reach rank 10. And one of them stated that counting fast moves was the most important thing. So we can see here a infographic from G2G Media, which states how many fast moves it takes to reach charge moves from some of the most important meta Pokemon. This seems to be for the Ultra League meta. So we can see here Ultra Premier Cup to be precise. We can see here Gengar, for example. So you can see that Shadow Claw is its fast move, and apparently it takes 5 Shadow Claws to reach a Shadow Punch, and it takes 7 Shadow Claws to reach a Shadow Ball. So what you could do is, while you're battling, have this infographic next to you, and then when you see a lead coming out, for example you see a Snover lead coming out, you can quickly look, okay, Snover, Powder Snow, 5 Powder Snows for Wither Ball, 7 for an Energy Ball. Then you can start counting, and you can keep track of what is going on in the match. I think these infographics are a great way to learn about the fast move counting and make it a little bit easier. About the Enigma Week then, PvPoke is stating that for the Great League you want to look at a good Wigglytuff or Clefable. So when you are catching the Clefairies and the Jigglypuffs, you're gonna try to find a good IV spread for those Pokemon. When it comes to the Ultra League, you want to find a good Clefable. Now I would like to note that Clefable is maxed out in the Ultra League, so you're searching for a 100% basically, or a high 90%. Of course for the Master League you are searching for a Metagross that is 100% preferably, or high in the 90s, which also can get a Mega Evolution. And if you are into Teamed Cups, then Bronzong and Claydol will do well as well. Next subject is this quite complicated infographic from Polymers Up, and it is about cores. Duo Core, a highly complementary pair of Pokemon within a given meta. Trio Core, a highly complementary line that encompasses multiple Duo Cores. Okay, so these are Pokemon that are working really well together in a certain meta. So clearly they are talking about the Great League meta here. As you can see, Azumarill, Registeel, and Altaria, which is maybe the most used team in the Great League, the best performing team in the Great League. And then you have Umbreon and Deoxys, which apparently are performing really well together as well in the Great League. Then they go to a bunch of other things here. Energy swings, Trio Core, Duo Core plus Pivot, balance not required, and you name it. To be honest, I think it's a bit complicated, but I wanted to put it out there, and you might want to look at it a little bit more closely. You can go to this Polymers Up Twitter, and you can find it for yourself. Also, the Stadium, Go Stadium, has made an article about cores. So what I have to say is, a core is a pair of Pokemon that synergize well together, and trio cores are composed of multiple powerful duos. Therefore, any single Pokemon in the trio core can often be substituted for another partially complementary Pokemon to create a solid line that's less predictable. Core breakers are Pokemon that generally perform well, even in a loss, against all members of a duo or trio core. You might only face 2 of the 3 shown in any given battle, but bringing one of these core breakers means you'll be well positioned no matter which of these duos you see. So you can see they made an infographic as well. They are listing the core team here. So we can see that Swampert, Giratina and Registeel is a core team that is used in the Ultra League. And then on its side you can see the core breakers. So these are the Pokemon that are performing well against all 3 of the Pokemon. They're putting 3 bars here. I'm not sure which bar is related to which Pokemon, but you can see that, for example, Regice is performing really well against one, is performing well against another, and is performing not that great. It's a narrow loss against the last of the trio. So these core breakers can be used to fight against teams like these. You can see a couple of other teams here with meta Pokemon and core breakers around it. And then below it they go through the teams. So first they are talking about the core with the movesets. And then they go to the core breakers and which movesets these Pokemon should have. And they do that for all of the 3 core teams. Interesting article, go read through it if you'd like. Then PV Poke, about the current teams that are good in the Ultra Premier. So you can see that Pokemon like Lapras, Venusaur, Drifblim, Machamp, Clefable, Charizard, Scizor are some of the Pokemon that are performing really well. You can see Snorlax in there, Gengar as well. Many of the starters, Swampert for example. And these are some of the top teams that he is listing. So Charizard, Gyarados and Venusaur seems to be one of the best teams out there. Also Charizard, Dragonite, Magnezone and Venusaur is also performing really well. You can see that Venusaur is in most of these top teams. So it apparently seems to be the most important Pokemon for Ultra Premier at the moment. We have to see how the meta is going to develop. And he is also stating that Pokemon like Gallade are also performing well. So that's kind of what's going on in the Ultra Premier for now. Then there seems to be a new problem in the PvP, in the Go Battle League. And it's something to do with fast moves being slower than usual on Android devices. And you can see here an example from Allays Join Voir. So this is a Poliwrath with Mudshot, and as you might know, Mudshot is supposed to be a fast move that is charging up energy really fast. But in this video you can see it moving very slowly, and it is getting to the Ice Punch very slowly, much slower than usual, which is basically making it impossible to win honestly. If you are moving twice as slow, it's just almost impossible to win matches this way. So a big issue for Android users in Go Battle League at the moment, hopefully something that Niantic can solve soon. If you are having these problems on Android, then honestly I would suggest to just lay down the game for a moment, focus on other aspects of Pokemon Go and lay down Go Battle League for a moment until it's fixed. Because you're going to lose almost all of the matches, you're going to lose your ranking while being extremely frustrated. It's just not working. Psionic is also talking about this problem, and there's already a couple of Reddit posts, which means 56 reactions here and 58 here. So you can see that many people are aware of this issue already. Now we have a quick article from Pokemon Go up here about Abomasnow, which is a Pokemon that is new to PvP Go Battle League in Season 3 because of its new move Weather Ball and the buff to Powder Snow as well. And actually Blizzard is also buffed. So in the Great League it is being used quite a lot. You can see here what it's weak to, what it's strong against. And they are stating here that it is performing well against Azumarill, Tropius, Venusaur, Meganium, Shiftry, Whiscash and Cresselia. Abomasnow's ideal moveset is Powder Snow paired with Ice Type Weather Ball and Energy Ball. Then we're going to go to the next subject. This is a person who is having troubles with the lack of GPS signal sending me to previous locations. So he is moved, but he's sometimes still being transported back to his previous location, which might have something to do with a router. But the bottom line of this story is that every now and then he's in the correct location, then he gets transported to a previous location, which might be hundreds of kilometers away, and then a couple of seconds later he's back in his own location. And the most important thing to note here is that you don't want to interact while being transported to this other region. Because if you catch a Pokemon at your area, then 2 seconds later you're 100 kilometers away, you catch a Pokemon there, and then another 2 seconds later you're back in your place, you catch a Pokemon there. This will look like Niantic as cheating, and it might trigger Niantic's cheating detection system. So you want to be careful with that. If you are having these problems, where you're being transported to another area, do not interact with that area. A quick update here, the fonts on some of the event medals have changed. I find it hard to see the difference, to be honest, but if you thought they look slightly different, it's not your eyes, it is actually true. Niantic Social has started to roll out even more. I've been hearing this from my local community as well as this Reddit post. So Niantic Social is a feature that has been online for a while now, but yet it is not rolled out to everyone, and just randomly some people don't have it. It is not based on level either, it is just some people have it and some don't. Seems to be random. But yeah, so it's rolled out to more people now. So hopefully it will be rolled out to everyone soon. And then here we have somebody stating a bug when it comes to sorting by online status. And this has been going on since the start, I believe, of online sorting. So you can see here that a couple of online people are visible, but this Mike Cromwell is not listed as online, which means that he needs to scroll down further to find him or actually search for him. So that is a problem with online status not showing correctly when sorting for it. And this is especially annoying if you are trying to invite people to remote raids and you cannot see the online status people at the front. We have an article here from Game Press about the Enigma Week. And it's basically talking about all of the Pokemon that are spawning more during this event. They're talking about when they are boosted, what kind of types they are, how they are available, if they can be shiny, and what their uses are. Can they Mega Evolve? Are they useful in PvP? You can see here Clefairy. Clefable is a 3.5 for Great League and a 4.5 in the Ultra League according to Game Press. So they're stating this for every Pokemon. It's a well-written article, I think. Game Press is always a good site to look at. And I want to end this episode by quickly talking about the Deoxys raid hour that is coming this evening from 6 to 7 PM. So if you don't have the shiny yet, this might be a great opportunity. Furthermore, if you are using a site like PokeRaid, you should be able to find a lot of raids today, as even if you are not having a raid hour at the moment, then other regions will be having that, and there might be more raids available there. So yeah, this is a good chance to get your shiny, and Deoxys will be going away on Friday, being replaced by Genesect. So you have a couple more days to search for that shiny. Alright, so that's everything I have to share for today. If new information comes out, I will make a new episode, and I will see you then.